Hi everyone and welcome today. Sorry about yesterday. Doing a lot at the moment, so got to fit everything in. Just going to give everyone a few minutes to come on and then I want to share a couple of things with you today as well. If you come on, say hello and leave your name and where you're from. Love to hear from you and where you come from. And we've got someone popping on. I wonder if it's Tanya. What? Hello, Tanya. I reckon I could just about wave a magic wand, Tan, and see you on there. Yeah. How's this new ripping paper? Oh my God. It's not as thick as our normal cardstock, but it's got a light side and a dark side. Yes, it's you, I know. This is absolutely beautiful paper. You do have to be a little bit mindful with your fingers on it. It does leave fingerprints if you've got hot, sweaty, oily fingers. You don't want that on there. I know years ago, if it got really hot like that, we had to use cotton gloves when we were using and working on vellum, because vellum also is another paper that will translate your fingerprints. So this one is just like that. You've got to be a little bit careful, but it's really beautiful paper. I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. I'll just give everyone a couple of minutes to see if they come on. I'm running a bit late. I came on a bit late, so people might be getting their notifications a bit late as well. Yeah, so, but that's okay. I've sort of, yeah, it's one of those days. But I'm not going to wait all day, so I will come down and start. And if anyone jumps on, they can come back and watch the replay if they get on a bit later. I'm just going to move this up just a fraction. Okay. Hi, Rose. Good to see you on. I said, I got on here a bit late, so I'm expecting other people to get on a bit late. So, but that's okay. Yeah, so I was just talking about this new paper. I don't know if you've seen this. It's just absolutely gorgeous. This is the beautiful, oh, let me just grab it out. Two-sided, two-toned, and as you can see, it's a lighter tone on one side, dark on the other, and light on the other. But it's also a paper that you can rip, which is really good because you can get a rip. You can actually sand it. There's a lot you can do with this. So when you're doing a ripping technique, you sort of, if you come back towards you, you'll see it's sandwiched with a white piece of paper between the two pieces of paper. So you can sort of get this like snow effect straight away. How gorgeous is this paper? You get this gorgeous two-toned effect. Hi, Gailey. So that's absolutely gorgeous. It comes in different colours, but I just got the red, the green, and what was the other colour in here? Red, green, and I think it was, what was this one? Wild Wet. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous card. I love it. And also, this morning I put a bit of the red through one of the embossing folders, and I just got my emery board and just went over it with my emery board and come up with this beautiful white effect. Now with your emery board, you can just rinse them really quickly under some water and dry them off. Don't have it pouring, just rinse it off and all this will come off. Or you can just, yeah, wipe it out onto, I don't like wiping it onto a rag, onto a paper towel, because it picks up the paper towel in there. So yeah, you can just rinse it off or just flick it and blow it. And then you can still come back and you can, yeah, get that beautiful effect. So it gives a great different background using your embossing folders as well. So I really like that procedure. Okay, now the other day, yesterday, I was at an appointment and I couldn't get on to do a class, so I set up a challenge for you, and some people had took the challenge and some people haven't yet. Hi Lillian. But if you still want to take the challenge, you've still got right through until the first Thursday or the first Wednesday in October to make your cards and get them to me. Now, I'm not going to put any cards on until that Wednesday. Okay, so just send me your cards as you make them. Some people were having a little bit of a hard time working out how to do the cuts and the folds, which is understandable because some people are new, and yeah, it does make it a little bit awkward for that. So when you got your cardstock, the first thing you need to do on this pattern is you need to line this up, and you can line it up at either side of the paper trimmer. I'm trying to think what I was trying to say to you then. Either side of the paper trimmer, and yeah, so you can do it at 1 1/4 inches or 3 centimeters, whichever you feel comfortable at, whether it's inches or centimeters. But I'm working on inches today on my trimmer because I've got the inches in. So then I'm going to line it up at the 1 inch, and then I'm going to come and cut down to the 6 1/2 inches. So you're going to bring your blade down to the 6 1/2 inches. Okay. Then you can do the same on the other side. You can turn it and you can either line it up at the 3 centimeters or the 1 1/4, which is the one big one past the 1 inch. Line it up at your 1. I'm going to bring this around this way because you can't see. Sorry, I should have been looking. So you're going to line it up at the 1 inch here on your trimmer, with your blade, and then you're going to come down to the 6 1/2 and cut to the 6 1/2. Now on your blade, you've got a little line, and that little line indicates where your blade is. So you know you can bring it to this little line that's on the side of your paper trimmer. That's a really good nugget to know, okay? So you're coming down 1 inch from the top, okay, 1 inch from the top, and 1 1/4 inches across, and you're going to start at the 1, and then you're going to come down to the 6 1/2. Okay, so you're going to cut that down, and because we've all got inches on our trimmers, unless you've got a centimetre one on there today, we're then going to turn our card around, and we're going to line it up here, and you can line it up at the 1 inch, which I'm going to do. And you're going to use your score blade now, and you're going to score it at 1 inch and 1 inch. Okay, I'm just giving everyone time to have a little think about what they're doing, or if they're writing down measurements. And then you're going to come into 5 centimeters or 2 inch. Okay, so I'm going to come in with the 2 inch, and I'm going to score down to the cut line, lift it, and come to the cut line. So from the edge, we're just going to score it in from the cut line, from the edge to the cut line, from the edge to the cut line. So now you've got 2 score lines. Okay, so your 2 score lines are, the first one is down 1 inch or 2 1/2 centimeters. The second one is either 5 inches or 5 centimeters or 2 inch. Sorry about that, I'll get it right. Now we're going to come right up to the 14. We're going to bring it right up to 14 because the 14 centimeters or 5 1/2 inches, our paper is either 11.5, no, our paper's, 28 centimetres, if you're doing centimetres, or it's or 11 inches, okay? So half of 28 centimetres is 14, okay, or 5 1/4 in inches. So we're going to now do our next score line, which is going to be at that, because that's our half of our length of card. And we're going to line up, and you've got lines on this side as well, on your score and your blade. So we've got 4 lines, one on either side this side and one either side of this side. So we're going to line it up at the 4 1/4 and score it down to the 1 inch, or the 1 1/4, I should say. So then you've got these two at the end here, where our end of our cut lines, okay? And the end of our cut lines are going to be 2 1/2 down from our 14, or 1 inch down from our 14. So 14 was from here to here, and then we're going to come down to the 6 1/2. So it's either going to be, we cut down to the 6 1/2. So you want to line this either up at 6 1/2. I'll just pull the this out for you so you can sort of see. So you either want to line it up at the 6 1/2, or it's 16.5. Okay, and then you're going to do your last 2 scores. So you're going to score into the cut line and into the cut line. Okay. So when you're folding it, you're going to do a mountain fold here. Oops, make sure you do it on the lines. And then a valley fold, which is your next 2 scores. Okay, so they're going to go like that. And then this one's going to go a mountain. And these 2 are going to be, whoop, did I not score that really well? I should really do it with a bone folder because it's so much easier. And I'm trying to hold it up so you can sort of see how it goes. Okay, so you've got coming up to a mountain, down into a valley here, and then your 3 mountains. Get your bone folder then and give them all a really good score. And lift this up and do the one underneath too. And the reason you want to do that is you will see that that all sits nice and straight at the bottom there. And the reason you want to do that is because it will make it sit a lot better if you give it a really, really good score. Now to decorate it, I get asked a lot, and this is one of the questions I get asked a lot, how do you work out your mats? Well, if it's 7 1/2 inches going, centimetres going across, you'll do your mat at 7. And then you'll turn it around and you'll work out what your length is, which is, we know is 14. So you'll do it at 13 1/2. But if you're working in inches, you put your ruler up against that part and you can see that it's 3 inches. So you're going to come back a quarter. So it's going to be 2 3/4. So you've got 1, 2, 3/4. So each of these lines are a quarter. Okay, so I'm going to grab, where's my pen? Not sure where my pen went. Okay, I can see it. Let me just grab it. I can't write upside down. I was just thinking. So with your mat, it's going to be 2 3/4 on inches, and I'm just using a marker, a permanent marker on my glass mat at the moment, and you can clean that off by 5 1/4. By 5 1/4. I'm just writing these measurements down so that I don't forget them. Now, when you're doing your other measurements, open your card up, because a lot of people forget to open their card up. And you can measure down from in here. So it's 4 1/2 for your side strips in inches. So that's going to be 4 1/4. And then you measure across, which you know is 1 1/4. So it's going to be by 1. Now let me share that in centimetres. In centimetres, it's going to be 11 1/2 down to your score line. So that means that you're going to have 11 centimetres by, and you know that's 3, so that's going to be 2 1/2, 2.5. Okay, so it's good to write your measurements down. That's what I love about the glass mat, is you can write your measurements on it. This is a permanent marker, but you can use your hand sanitizer on a little bit of tissue and it will remove that permanent marker completely off. Now this bit down here, this piece in here, if you've measured it all the way down, which we did, we started off with the 5 1/4 or the 14. So if you've measured it all the way down, that's fine. But if you want to separate this bottom piece, then you need to measure it to that cut line. So you want to measure it from your score line to your cut line, which is 11 1/2. So you'll know that your paper is going to be 11 centimetres by, and you know going across this was 8, so it's going to be 7.5. Now in inches, if you wanted to change that around to inches, you come down to that last one, you know it's 4 3/4. No, sorry, you know it's 4 1/2. So you know it's going to be 4 1/4. And then you're going to turn it around and you can see that that's 3, so it's going to be by 2 3/4. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 3/4. 2 3/4. So I know it can be quite confusing, but on this one, you've got to work out where your half fold is, and it's always half of your measurement. So if you put a little pencil mark at your half measurement, which is this one here, which is our 14.14, and 14 is 28, okay, and 5 1/2 and 5 1/2 is, what's 5 1/2 and 5 1/2? It's 11, okay, 11 inches. So you always halve it, and then work out your centerpiece. That's always a very important part to learn on a card, is where that centerpiece, whether it's a 10 1/2 or 11 1/2, your centerpiece, that's your centerpiece there. Okay, so that's the important part about any card making, is finding out where that half is. Okay, so this is a center step card, and it's absolutely a fantastic little pattern. Now, normally I share things like this in my fun fold class, but I really wanted to give you a challenge, and it definitely was a challenge because so many people said to me, I don't know how to cut that up. And look, I I put measurements on there, but I didn't really put valleys or mountains, or I just thought I'd give a challenge. So let's have a little look at this. If we use our beautiful paper, we've got a little bit of sanded paper here, we've used it, and we're going to line this inside piece first. So we're going to work out whether we want to come right to the bottom of our page, which I don't, because I really want to come to this line here. So that's your 4.5. So we're going to do 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. So 4 1/4. Come here, 4 1/4. And then we're going to turn it around and do 2 3/4. So 3/4 is 3 of the next line. So you've got 2 1/4, 2 1/2, and then 2 3/4 is that next big line. And then you've got 3. So they're all quarters. Okay, so we're going to stick this onto the front here and show you. This cardstock is amazing. It's got the light on one side, it's got white in the middle, and it's got the darker on the other side. So it's really amazing paper. So we have got our first section that's going in there. And then you say, I'm just going to do these pieces in the plain red. Okay, so you can just do that in the plain red. But let's go with the light side this time. Okay, so let's do that. So remember, you line it up to your score lines, which is 4 1/2 inches. Then you're going to cut it at 4 1/4. And then you're going to cut it at 1. Okay, so 4 1/4 by 1. So we're going to cut our large size first, 4 1/4. And then we're going to turn it around and cut our 1s. So I need 1, and then I need another 1. We're lining it up at the 1 inch. We're going to put these 2 pieces on now. And we're going to do the light side this time. Okay, so we're going to put the light side down. Now you've got a little bit of a border from your score lines and your edges. Okay, so this sits in the middle of all that. So you've got that little score line, little border right around. Okay, we're going to do the light side again on this side. And that's something you're going to have to be mindful of if you're using the two-tone paper, is that if you're using light and dark, that you actually, if you're using all one colour, that you make sure that you have it on that colour. Okay, so let's measure the bottom part of this card now. So this is our 5 1/4. So we're going to do it at 5 1/2. So we're going to do it at 5 1/4. And we're going to turn it around and we're going to do it at 3/4. Okay, so 1 1/4 by 3/4. So we're going to do 3/4. I just did that wrong. Yes, sorry, I did. As soon as I cut that, I knew I'd done that wrong. Let's see if we can use this bit, the bit that I ripped before. I'm quite sure we can. Okay, so we can use this bit. So we want this as 3/4. We could even leave that little bit there if we wanted to and have that edge sitting up. Now what happens when you want to get in to an area like this that you can't get your fingers in, and you want to line it up at the 3/4, which is the one back from the inch, and you're holding it there and you're trying to hold it straight and you're trying to get this down and it's not all sitting right for you. It wants to move out to the side. What do we do then? Just let me grab my extra pair of fingers. Let me grab a little extra pair of fingers here, which I call an extra pair of fingers. Let me give you a little gold nugget because it's a really great tip. Okay, so we want this at 3/4 of an inch, so it's pretty well right in there. So you can sort of see 3/4 of an inch is in here. So line it up and then get your sticky note and put that on it, because when you bring it down it's not going to move and you'll be able to cut that nice and straight. Okay, so that's a really great little tip. Okay, and we're going to now add this strip to the front. We can do it light or we can do the dark. Let's do the dark. So we've got the dark and then the lights. I know I'm going over time, sorry guys. I can, not quite, but nearly. Okay, and then you've got a border around that too. Now, I don't decorate this bit here because you don't actually see that. That's sort of like inside, that's how it's going to be. Okay, now if you don't want this big part in here, you will need to bring this piece down that little bit extra. So you're going to do it at the 5 1/4, and you're just going to have then that same strip going right across there. Okay, we're going to decorate that up in a minute. So let me just bring that up. Hi Kaz, hi from the car. So I hope you can sort of see it wasn't really hard, but it is hard when you don't know. When you lay it flat, you sort of get a bit of a more idea. Okay, so you sort of get a bit of a more idea on how it goes. I'll decorate that up tomorrow with you, and yeah, I'll share something with you tomorrow on decorating this up. What's tomorrow? Thursday. We can finish this off and do something else tomorrow because we got from 6:30 to 7:30. Oh, and we've got lots of classes tomorrow because remember, we've got Crafty Monday on Thursday this week. So we got, yeah, lots of things. So I'll finish this off tomorrow with you. But I just wanted to explain the pattern so more people might feel like joining into the challenge. Don't forget, everyone that joins into the challenge, name will go into a drawer. Send me your cards. Don't put them on yet. I'll put them up Wednesday night, on the last Wednesday night of the first Wednesday night in October. I will put all the cards up, and then on the Thursday we'll choose a winner. Does that make sense? I hope so. So before I go though, I want to come back down here, and I'm not sure if you can see the writing over here. Over here on my, I'm just going to share with you how easy it is to clean this off. Just grab a tissue. Grab a little bit, and I mean, you don't need a lot. This one just sits along in my craft, on my craft bench. And a little bit of hand sanitizer and wipe it off. Okay, so now your glass mat is all clean to go again, and it's just one of these. I'm just going to hold this up again so you can all see. It's just one of these pens, permanent pens, permanent marker with a very fine tip that I write my measurements down on the glass mat. Fantastic. when I first looked at it and I tried to clean it off with water, it wasn't going to come off with water. So the sanitizer works really fantastic because it's got alcohol in it. If you've got an alcohol wipe, that will work the same. If you've got a glass cleaner, that will do the same thing, okay? So I hope you all enjoyed how to make your template art and how to measure it and bring it in. And we will decorate this one up and, yeah, go from there tomorrow. God bless you all, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.